Have you ever finally sat down after a long day, only to feel that uncomfortable knot in your stomach? You tell yourself you deserve the break. You worked hard. You showed up. You handled what needed to be handled, and yet, instead of relaxing, your mind starts whispering, you should be doing something. Other people are being productive. You're wasting time. So you pick up your phone, or your laptop, or you start cleaning something that doesn't really need cleaning. Not because you want to, but because resting feels wrong. If you've ever felt guilty for simply taking a break, you're not lazy. You're not broken. There's a reason your nervous system reacts this way, and once you understand it, that guilt begins to loosen its grip. Imagine a young professional named Daniel. He wakes up early, commutes, works hard, answers emails late, shows up for his family, pays bills on time. He's responsible, reliable, the kind of person people depend on. One Saturday afternoon, Daniel finally has nothing urgent to do. No deadlines, no errands, no meetings. He makes a cup of coffee and sits on the couch. At first, it feels peaceful. Then, about 5 minutes later, his chest tightens. His brain starts scanning for unfinished tasks. Maybe he should get ahead on next week's work. Maybe he should organize the garage. Maybe he should learn something new. Maybe he's falling behind. He thinks about other people, the ones who always seem to be grinding, hustling, improving. He picks up his laptop, not because he needs to, but because resting feels uncomfortable. Later that night, he feels drained, even though it was supposed to be his day off. The strange part, he doesn't even know why relaxing makes him anxious. He just knows that it does. And if you're honest, maybe you've felt something similar. You finally slow down, and instead of relief, you feel guilt. Why? The guilt you feel when resting is rarely about the present moment. It's usually about conditioning. Many of us grew up in environments where productivity was praised more than presence, where being busy meant being valuable, where rest was earned, not allowed. Maybe you heard phrases like, "Don't be lazy. There's always something to do. You can relax after you succeed." Over time, your brain made an association. Doing is equal to worth. Resting is equal to risk. Because if you're not doing something, who are you? From a psychological standpoint, this is tied to something called conditional self-worth. That's when your sense of value depends on performance. Your nervous system learns that staying active keeps you safe, socially and emotionally. When you rest, it doesn't feel neutral. It feels unsafe. Your brain interprets stillness as falling behind. And in American culture especially, we're surrounded by subtle messages that reinforce this. Hustle culture, productivity apps, rise and grind, side projects, optimization. Rest becomes something you schedule strategically, instead of something your body naturally deserves. There's also another layer. For some people, rest creates space, and space creates silence. And silence can bring up emotions that busyness keeps buried. When you're constantly moving, you don't have to feel everything, but when you slow down, your thoughts get louder, old worries, unprocessed stress, doubts. So, your brain tries to protect you by pushing you back into activity. It tells you, do something, anything, because doing feels safer than feeling. So that guilt you experience, it's not proof that you're lazy. It's proof that your nervous system has been trained to equate rest with danger or inadequacy. And once you see that, something shifts. Here's the truth. Most high-functioning adults struggle to accept. Rest is not a reward. It's a biological requirement. Your brain, literally, consolidates memory and learning during downtime. Your nervous system regulates itself during moments of safety and stillness. Your creativity reconnects when pressure decreases. When you deny yourself rest, you don't become stronger. you become dysregulated, and ironically, the more you override your need for rest, the more exhausted and unmotivated you eventually feel. That's not weakness, that's burnout. The deeper life lesson is this: your worth does not increase when you produce, and it does not decrease when you pause. You are not a machine. You are not a checklist. You are not your output. You are a human being with limits, and limits are not flaws. They're boundaries your body uses to protect you. Learning to rest without guilt is less about forcing yourself to relax, and more about slowly retraining your nervous system to understand, I am still valuable, even when I'm not achieving. That retraining doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small, quiet moments, like sitting on the couch for 5 extra minutes before grabbing your phone, like leaving a task unfinished on purpose, like noticing the guilt and choosing not to obey it. Each time you do that, you send a new message to your brain. It's safe to slow down, and over time, the guilt softens, not because you've become less ambitious, but because you've become more secure. Imagine Daniel again, another Saturday. He sits down with his coffee. The familiar whisper shows up. You should be doing something. But this time, he notices it. He doesn't argue with it. He doesn't shame it. He just lets it be there. He takes a slow breath. He reminds himself, rest is part of being human. The discomfort doesn't disappear instantly, but he stays seated. The light coming through the window feels warmer. His shoulders drop. His breathing slows. For the first time in a long while, he's not earning his existence, he's just experiencing it, and that's enough. If you feel guilty for resting, you're not alone. You were likely taught directly or indirectly that your value lives in your productivity. But that belief can be gently unlearned. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to be still. You are allowed to exist without proving anything. The next time guilt shows up while you're resting, instead of asking, "What should I be doing?" try asking, "What does my body need right now?" That question is not lazy. It's wise. And sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is nothing at all.